Hey, hey, put a smile on your face. Sunday chillin', song that you can bump to. One day chillin', doing whatever you want to. Sunday chillin', song to sing along to. And we gon' do whatever we gon' do. I know you want to, you can sing along too, yeah. I see you can sing along too, yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back to Dad's Beyond the Bleachers special guest night tonight. So we got Joey Cochran joining us tonight, who is obviously a dad. It's part of the Dad's Beyond the Bleachers group and well-known, well-respected businessman in Kearney. He, too, is an athlete not only in high school but in college, so he has a perspective of sports and athletics and all that, and you have boys and girls, and the topic today is boys versus girls in sports, so we figured you'd be a good one to have on and talk about all of those. So you've got, well, 2 out of school now.
Yep.
1 in the 2 or 3 in the mix of it.
Yep. Thanks for having me. You forgot 15-year youth coach.
There you go.
Under my belt. I've coached almost any sport you can probably think of. But yeah, I mean, we have 2 that are out of the mix, out of high school, and then 1 going to be a sophomore, 1 be a 7th grade, 1 in 4th grade, and then
the little
1-year-old.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You got a long road ahead of you still.
Yeah.
I'll be in it a while, and you guys know that. So.
Hey, on one hand, though, you get to redo it all over.
I know.
You get to re-experience everything again.
Yep.
So.
And the youngest has no choice. I mean, we've already decided that she is going to play volleyball, so we can
go.
kind of put that to bed. We already miss volleyball, which is hilarious. I mean, we didn't have near the club season that we typically would, and then the summer workouts and them going to Grand Island, watching them in Grand Island. Amber already misses that, so.
Yeah, we're right in the mix of that right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Well, we'll start it off with the big question of the day. Are boys and girls really that different when it comes to sports? Or do they need many of the same things from parents? I'll let you guys go on that one, but
I think it's both. I think it's both. I think they're very different. I think the approach has to be different, but at its core, I think they all need the same thing, right? They need confidence boosted, they need mentoring, they need all those main things, but there is a certain approach you have to have to girls versus boys. I think it's quite a big difference in all honesty. Girls, I think, more subtle, more boys, you can be direct. Just here's what you're doing wrong, here's how you fix it, here's what you need to do. Girls, you have to elaborate more, in my opinion. You have to give the, who, what, when, where, and whys with everything. That's just me, though.
14-year coach.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I always look at competitiveness when it comes to anything, whether it's, again, any sport or whether it's boys and girls. And I always set my sights on the most competitive maybe player I see in that sport, whether, again, it's a boy or a girl. And from what I see, competitiveness-wise, I mean, they are ultra competitors. I mean, from the top level competitors. So I don't think there's any difference like in being competitors. Is there a difference of how you need to coach them? Maybe. I talk to my daughter the same way I would talk to my boys, and that's just because I know how competitive they all are. And so I talk to them and coach them like a competitor. And hey, if you want to, reach this level or reach this goal in whatever sport or whatever you're doing, I mean, this is what you're going to have to do. And I get what Brandon is saying about how you maybe would coach them, especially maybe in a group setting. But me as a dad, I talk to my daughter just as much as, as hard as I talk to my boys.
Do you get any different responses, or are the responses similar or different? Or
daughter listens more. Daughter listens more.
Yeah.
And it's funny now that my boys are getting old enough to start to maybe challenged me and beaten me in certain sports, whether that's, not basketball yet, but golf. I mean, my son and I just got done playing 9 holes, and I mean, he took it to me pretty bad, and he let me know about it. So I had to empty the dishes when we got home. That was our deal.
That was the bet.
That was the side bet.
Losers emptying dishes, and I have a feeling I won't be betting him anymore any chores because I'll be mowing the lawn.
Yeah, he's going to up the ante every time from here on out.
Oh yeah, it's rough, but yeah, I mean it's funny when I especially my 18 and 15-year-old, 18-year-old girl and 15-year-old boy. It's funny how I could talk to them and their reaction is about the same, but seeing their competitiveness come out, it's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Anything surprise you between the two?
Not necessarily, I guess, surprising. And I think when you talk about maybe family and whether it's genetics, whatever, it's so funny how my kids are so different but so similar to coaching and how competitive they are, whether we're playing, a board game or playing horse downstairs or playing ping pong. I mean, we got a ping pong table for Christmas, and we always try to get something that the whole family can do, right? Mm-hmm. So we got a ping pong table, and I mean, my 10-year-old son would whoop people. I mean, it's scary how good he got just because of how competitive he is. But yeah, I mean, it's nuts. But yeah, nothing really surprising. But
and to go back to what Brandon was saying earlier, just as coaches, and I've got to talk about the high school part of it because that's where I'm at now. But I think it is different coaching girls to boys with how you. I agree with you on the fact that they're competitors. I think especially this group of girls that we've had the last few years, they are competitors. So you really don't have to address that as much, right? But I think how you address the talking to them and coaching them is different. And I'm old, so the old school way of teaching boys, you can't. I don't think you can do that as much anymore with boys, but you definitely cannot do that with girls.
Yep, sure.
And so you really try to find out what am I trying to say? You try to find out what facet the girls like, how they respond, and in what way they respond, and with what verbiage and how you talk to them individually, even though it's a team sport. And so it is different. I think guys, I don't think you can be as direct anymore as it was when I was growing up.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
But competitive wise, I agree with you. I think anymore these days, the girls are just as competitive and have that mindset than the boys do.
Yep.
As the boys do, I should say. But
Yeah, no, I think you nailed it. You coach one way when it's the whole team standing there, and then you have to adapt and learn to every individual player on how you can, talk to them one-on-one. And I've coached boys and girls, and like you said, you can't coach even, 15 years ago when I was coaching boys high school basketball. You can't coach now how I even did then, just with the things that you would say and just almost the intensity that sometimes a coach would bring. You might get in trouble nowadays, in all honesty. But, Joey mentioned coaching his kids the same, and I agree with that. When it's your own kids, I think that they're around you enough and they're around you so much, they understand what you're saying, even if you're not saying it the right way, almost. You know what I mean? So when you're coaching them, when you're talking to them, things like that. Now, I can't yell at Journey. She'll instantly tear up, right? That's an age thing, though. I can be a little harder with Jaslyn and Jaden and Jarek, and they'll all respond differently. But at the end of the day, they all know that even if I don't approach them right, they know the point I'm trying to get across because they've heard me do it 100 other times, So there is an age factor, in my opinion, that you also have to balance. I don't know when that is. I Journey's still ball up.
9
mode.
years old.
Yeah, 9 years old. Shut up, Riley. But no, it's
So you both had mentioned that you talk to your boys and your girls the same way. So why can't coaches do that when they're coaching? Is it because of the family issue? Or not issue. That sounds bad, but
yeah.
'cause, I mean, it sounds like you guys are able to talk to them straight up. But yet a coach gets frowned upon.
And it's interesting how, again, like I said, I had 15 years youth coach, and I rarely coach my kids in season or talk to them, and it's more about attitude and effort, because when we watching my daughter play volleyball, I don't know anything except bump set spike in volleyball, and
Me too. I haven't known enough to be dangerous.
yeah, and so like the last 3 years with you guys was interesting. It was kind of like me watching my son grow up playing hockey, because I never knew what icing was or anything like that. Then,
I still don't.
yeah, and then once you're in it, then all of a sudden you start learning the rules, and so I didn't know how many plays that a volleyball team would run, and different sets and different looks that they'd give teams, and that was just so cool. So it'd be silly for me, obviously, to coach my daughter in anything besides attitude and effort. But I mean, yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, if I go back to a team of a boys basketball team that I coached, and I coached a girls basketball team, did I coach them maybe a little bit differently? Maybe talking to them, sure. I was more direct, maybe with my son's team, just because it was more, hey, let's have short memories, but kind of have a long memory when I'm talking. And it was a lot more developmental stuff as well. I mean, I'm coaching them, and I don't care about wins or losses, but it's more, how many turnovers are we having? Are we getting a good shot every time? Are we coming off screens the right way? Are we in the right defensive position when the ball is on a wing, or the ball's in the post, and that kind of stuff? So yeah, anymore, I mean, if it's not like my 10-year-old son, I let the coaches coach and let them figure it out, because I mean, my son's playing football. I don't I knew how to play football when I played, right? I mean, receiver and all that stuff, DB, but I could never like talk to my son and be like, oh, you should have ran 5 yards instead of 10 yards out, because I don't know the plays or anything like that. But
Yeah, confidence and attitude.
Well, since
Or-
we're already on confidence, do boys and girls build confidence differently? If so, please explain. Have at it. I'm soaking it all in today. I got two young ones that
You got to take some notes over there.
I am. I'm taking mental notes on the experts over here.
I think small successes can build confidence, and whether, again, as a coach or as a parent, being able to talk about those small successes are huge. And again, I'll go back to just something very recent. I had a son that played high school golf, and I had a father-in-law that coached golf for 37 years. And so he told me, he's like, never point out something bad that happened during a round. Only talk about the good things, especially early on in the season. He's like, you'll be surprised. And he learned that, just obviously coaching. So I did that. I mean, it didn't matter if my kid, triple bogeyed 3 holes in a row. I never talk about that. I always said, hey, what's one thing you did really good? And he's like, I don't know, birdie on 17 or something. I said, no, honestly, you struck the ball really well. Now, did it go straight or where you wanted it every time? No, but I mean, you smoked the ball, because I mean, you're with 3 or 4 other kids typically. I mean, there's some shots that were dribbling off the tee box, that everybody got to watch. Shots that shoot right, shoot left, and I kept telling him, like, man, you just are really just striking the ball. And Now you can make a putt, but I mean that's
He's lipped out.
I'm there. I'm there. Can you give me some pointers on that
that's
too?
most golfers, right? At least you're on the green
Yeah.
in regulation. You're putting for birdie, putting for par. But it was kind of interesting. And then you just see the confidence build after tournament after tournament after tournament. And then his best round of the year was his last day at state. And it was cool because, you know, it was just that constant buildup of, yeah, you know, I'm playing pretty good. But
Well, not to get off subject, but I think golf is one of those that works extremely well in doing that, because I think we've all been on a golf course not playing well, and all we're doing is constantly replaying the crappy shot we just had and what we wish we would have done, and we proceed to go hit another crappy shot, as opposed to maybe taking that approach and thinking about, well, wait, 2 holes ago I did this and it went beautifully. I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of doing it with my kids. We talked about a story a couple of weeks ago on a podcast I did with Journey right after a softball game. You know, went right up to her and dug into her about what she did wrong, and she had a great game other than this one thing. You know, so, but yeah,
and it's those small successes, and you know, I'll go back to any kid I've coached basketball. They all should know this answer, and I ask them one thing, because you know, a lot of parents are like, oh, I want my kid to learn how to shoot, right? I mean, that's, as a coach, you know, developing kids, whether they're 8, 9, 10, you always want to, you know, teach a kid how to shoot, because, you know, kids want to score. So I say, what's the number one thing you have to be a successful shooter? And the kids are like, well, I need to get full extension. You know, I need to snap my wrist. I need to put my, you know, hand in the cookie jar. I need to be on balance. And I said, those are all great things. But the number one thing is confidence. Every shot I take, I'm, you know, in my 40s now. I go in the Y. If I'm on the court somewhere, no matter what I do, whether it's a baseball shot or a half court shot, I honestly think it's going in until it tells me different. I mean, dead serious. I mean, I every shot I take, I know I can make it.
Yeah.
And it's all confidence. And it's just, you know, again, building those small successes and having that confidence to be able to know that, hey, I can do this.
So in those small successes, have you noticed that girls build that confidence from that faster than boy? Or you've got a little bit of an age gap between your 2 oldest, so it can kind of be hard. But have you noticed anything that has shown you, hey, you know, Mackenzie excelled at this a lot earlier on than the boys do? Kind of goes back to that girls always mature faster than boys kind of thing, you know. Yep. So I noticed it with my girls. My girls built confidence a lot earlier on and a lot easier than my son did. So have you noticed any of that?
I could second that for sure, because Mackenzie, she built her confidence in, you know, middle school, I'd say, and then my boys, it was more early high school. Yeah. And then now, you know, able to take off. But yeah, I mean, it's, and then you'll see those kids, you know, not even going to my kids, but I mean, there's some kids that are just built different. I mean, there's the kids at, you know, age of 6 or 7.
They just got it.
That has that swagger, and you know, they go in the gym or they go on a field, and it's really cool to see kids do that. Whether it's on my team or somebody else's. I mean, I'm, you know, going to state baseball this weekend, and there's a couple kids from Omaha that I know that we'll get to see. I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, they're 12 years old, and just their mechanics and pitching and the mechanics on hitting. I mean, it's pretty cool to see.
So when you gave that story of your son and the golf and saying the, you know, the positive things right away, do you have a time where Mackenzie came and maybe she was frustrated after a volleyball game or even a soccer game or whatever, where you used that scenario, or was it different, or was it a different approach to her?
Yeah, there's no different approach. I mean, I was always one that, you know, if it was a tough loss or maybe a tough break that didn't go our way, it's just, we got to get better. You know, what are we going to do? You know, and quite honestly, it wasn't necessarily all getting bigger, faster, stronger. It's more being mentally tough and being able to get through and have that short memory. And yeah, I mean, we lost or she failed, maybe didn't do her part, or whatever, to where it's like, okay, short memory. And my college basketball coach, Coach Crop, always said, the best part about this loss, we got a game tomorrow. There's another game. So forget about this, and we're just going to get better now and make sure this doesn't happen again. But that's always the cool thing that he always told us, like, hey, there's another game. And playing the RMAC, we played typically Friday, Saturday, or Thursday, Saturday, but mostly Friday, Saturday. So if we got knocked off on a Friday, it was, hey, guess what? We got
That Saturday.
Yep. Forget about it. And we'll learn from it. We'll learn from it, especially in film. We'll learn from it. But we don't want to take that, the things we learned in this loss too lightly, and let's just win the next one. But.
So I'm going to say, you two, as daughters and sons, have you noticed who takes losses better, who recovers better, quicker?
Real quick, Sarah put a note up here for us. It says, girls gain their confidence from their dads. # science. So, sorry, moms, but got you on that one. We're going to leave that out.
That's
Cut that.
I'm not arguing that one.
Yeah,
I know that one. I know that for a fact.
No, back to your question. That one's really tough because in my situation, my girls move on from a loss very easily and almost effortlessly, right? Like, are they
Does that frustrate you?
No,
I mean, and why I ask that is, do you feel like, well, do they care, or do they?
Sometimes it can come across that maybe they don't care, and I have thought about that, and that does creep in my mind. But then I go back to the girls, and I know how much they want to win, and I know how competitive they are. So to me, that's a great skill set to have, is understand why you lost, right? Fix, correct the things that maybe you need to, but don't dwell on it. Don't let it drag you down. They do, girls, in my opinion, do a really good job at moving on and on to the next, right? My son did too, but my son, and this is nothing against my son, I love him, but he's had that kind of nonchalant, didn't care attitude, right? So different ends of the spectrum. But yeah, girls, I couldn't have never moved on from a loss as fast as I see some of these high school athletes do it. Girls, I would have been pissed off or probably told whenever our next practice was at minimum. So.
And I think too, it's their coaches too, and how quick they can move on as well. Obviously, you guys coached my daughter in volleyball, and we had just tremendous success her last season. But the season before, we had a really good team, and I thought that they bounced back so quickly from a loss, and learning from a loss. I can't remember a time that my daughter lost 2 games in a row, and which is something to be said, right? And I think my son, who is in it right now, he takes it a little bit more on the chin than my daughter ever did. And I don't know if it's necessarily a boy-girl thing. It could be more of a...
Is that a testosterone thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like...
Yeah, that could just be a male thing, right?
Yeah, and him not reacting to maybe coaching that he received, or maybe getting called out on effort or attitude from a parent. Not saying me, maybe it was my wife that yelled at him too. So.
Yeah. So you talked about losses. Fortunately, we didn't have too many back-to-back losses, which is good. But your daughter versus your son, after a loss, do they want space, or do they want talk to? Do they want to be around you, around your wife, or do they like, no, I'm going to my room? And
no, it's after almost every sporting event, we always hang out. Whether it's with other families, right? and other teammates and that kind of stuff. Or if it's obviously late during the school year, we always find ourselves, we're a big ice cream family. I mean, that's
We're popcorn. We talked about that earlier, but ice cream's good.
Yeah, massive ice cream family. So we eat ice cream and say our nightly prayers, and we'll hash it out for like maybe 5 minutes. And I think it hopefully would helps them. When you think about if we look at high school, a high school athlete, they have a Thursday game, and they have school the next day, and they have practice the next day. I mean, so having those things, I think, takes your mind off it a little bit. But us as a family, I mean, we typically, whether it's daughter or son, I mean, they would never go just right down to the room or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
They talk it out.
So on your side of it, it's not necessarily a boy or a girl difference. It's a family thing for you guys.
Yeah, yep, it was family, and it's just everybody. You walk in the house, you're at the island, you're eating ice cream, and everybody's trying to figure out what we're doing the next day. And again, I think it's having things to do obviously changes, and we have a lot of things to do, just because we have as many kids as we do. So
You don't have time to dwell on it.
yeah, we have no time to go on it. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Brandon?
Yeah, my girls want to be chatty Cathy's after a game, win or loss, right? And the one thing I noticed, especially with girls in sports, is the things that they remember and the things that they process and kind of think about after a game. Like, I'm going to screw this up trying to explain it, but like, my girls will come home after a volleyball game, and let's just say that we lost, right? And they'll talk about the game, and the things that they're talking about and remembering from the game, I'm trying to remember when that happened. I'm trying to remember what led up to it. It's crazy to me. That is one difference I see a lot between boys and girls, especially at younger, going into high school ages. The girls have this memory about things in a game that I've never heard my son, or even when I coach boys, them have that perspective. Like,
Or even you?
or even me, yeah. Like, you remember the highlights or the lowlights, you know what I mean? But they're talking about like a point in a set that, in the grand scheme of things, really had no sway one way or the other, and how it happened or why it happened. I'm just like, how are you focused on? Like, how do you even remember that one specific? That was probably one of the mediocrest plays in the entire set, but you're remembering something that happened during that and want to talk about that, and that's probably a horrible example, but they have a much better memory of all these little things that went on during the course of a game, and then they want to talk about them, which I love, because I think you should talk about it. The last thing I want them to do is go down in their room, pout, throw a fit, call their friends. It's get it out, get it over, let's move on. So.
See, I can remember about anything about a ball game that I participated in. No, I guess that's just me, but
Not me.
details.
I mean, I can remember a lot, but not near the extent that my daughters remember. That's and they're remembering the stuff.
Maybe they have more opportunities, or maybe you didn't quite perform like you wanted to.
Well, hey, you know what? I'm not afraid to admit that maybe I didn't. I mean, more power to them if that.
We haven't given you a bad time.
I will take credit for handing down that trait, though.
There you go.
Because dads obviously.
I was just going to go back.
Dads give all their kids everything: brains, athletics, confidence, all of it. Again, sorry, moms.
I used to be able to remember almost every, like, college basketball, and then high school basketball and high school football game that I played in, and certain things that happened. Now it's totally faded, and it's because it's filled up with my kids.
Now you got
Yeah, I mean, I remember when, like, my son's first goal in hockey. I mean, it was such a big deal, and again, not a hockey person, but I mean, just was so cool. I remember things from soccer games when they're like 5 years old. But yeah, and I don't know about now. I know I kind of look at like whether it's social media or film.
Mm-hmm.
You get instant film. I mean, how awesome is that? I mean, back in the day, I mean, you had to go get the VHS tape from the coach, third period, and then I'd be watching,
Sit in the classroom on the
I
crummy
would,
TV.
yeah. And now it's huddle. Everybody has huddle, and you can watch yourself, and you get that instant ability to, watch yourself and, get coaching, and whether it's from a parent or a coach, and things you did good, things you did bad, which is huge, definitely huge.
And I was just going to go back to, and you mentioned it, social media. You got Huddle and all that to watch, but how about the actual social media? Did your kids respond to that? I mean, I don't know if there's, bad words out there. Oh, so and so blew it on this game or whatever. If they're friends or their enemies or their opponents, do you notice any of that in your?
No, the thing with social media that I see is just from a recruiting standpoint of how much a tool coaches use that. I mean, I talked to the current coach at UNK, Marty Levinson. I mean, being able to post stuff on X and have profiles on certain recruiting sites.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it helps so much.
That's free access to
free
endless
access.
athletes.
And if you don't have that as an athlete, I think it could hamper your ability to get recruited for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, we've talked a little bit about it, but we're going to go to this question here, Joey, and we'll start with you. What's something you've learned not to say after a game?
Ooh. And again, lots of years of coaching my kids. Honestly, not to focus on maybe some bad things that might have happened during the game and getting maybe angry at something they did or whatever. The feeling I get watching my kids play is way different than it was 10 years ago, and it's because I had to grow up not only as a coach but more as a parent. And I think my wife would even vouch for me on this, to where I could see myself grow up as a parent more. I mean, we had kids young, so I was ultra competitive. Oh my gosh, my kid's not the best, or, I want my kid, to be the best. And it's like, there's other things that are way more important, right? And you just have to grow up as a parent. But I've definitely said things after games that I regret, and you lose sleep over, and it's like, okay, I got to make it up the next morning, something like that. So I've learned never.
I think we've all been there.
Yeah. The only things that I get mad at after a game is if my kids did something just maybe out of character, and maybe push a kid from behind or something like that.
Something that has to be addressed.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, exactly. I mean, there was a basketball game last year. I'm like, dude, I know that kid's parents. I mean,
now I got to get a phone call from them later.
Yeah,
Thanks
I'm
a lot.
It's funny that my son, especially, he's doing the whole basketball tour, to where I did the same. I was co-ed. He's Kearney Catholic. I mean, we play a lot of the same teams. A lot of my friends are coaching against him, and know him, and then again, a lot of ex-teammates or ex-friends, they have kids in towns that we play against, and so like when he gets a little chippy and with a kid, I'm like, oh boy, I'm gonna have to text his dad sorry or something like that. So those are the only things I really say after the game, like, man, you owe that kid an apology, or
Yeah. Yep. So what do you hope your kids remember about sports?
relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was huge.
I know you guys had an episode. It was episode 2?
Something like
Yeah. Yeah.
It was what was it?
about relationships and
Yeah. Like how many friends from high school or sports you still stay in touch with? Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I go back to Coach Kropp. I mean, the main thing he wanted anybody to get out of playing college basketball at UNK was relationships, and it's wild. I mean, we have a group text message. I mean, we're on it every day. I mean, it's called Loper Family, and it's all my ex-teammates, and there's a couple that the younger kids that jumped on there just through alumni events and that kind of stuff, and a couple older guys that jumped on there again through alumni events. But we have this big group text, but it's mostly the core of when I played, and it's all about relationships. It's crazy. I mean, it's so true. I mean, that's sports is how close it brings people together. I know in an episode I was listening to recently that you guys talked about not only do your kids make friends, but the parents make friends, right? That was what was so cool about my daughter playing for Amherst, is that we met so many awesome families that we never would have met and made, lifelong friends because my daughter wanted to play or go to school at Amherst and play volleyball there, and it's awesome. I mean, that's the cool thing, and hopefully my kids, see that, and I think they do. Just like Riley said, he's like, I don't really remember, the games when he played travel baseball, but he remembered the hotels, the restaurants, and the time his families hang out. Like, we're going to state baseball this weekend. I'm excited because I get to hang out with our friends, and, down in Omaha, and I'm sure we'll find ourselves, somewhere watching the World Cup or
I will not be.
or something like that.
So do your kids know about your text and your group and all, how much connection you have with them on a daily basis? Do you think that will rub off onto them? Or?
Yep. So just yesterday, I'm at a baseball game out at Patriot Park, and my son is with a couple buddies. They had to run to the sports store in the mall, and he's like, Dad, Dunnigan's here, and that's Brian Dunnigan. He's one of my really good buddies. He played basketball with me for 3 years, and I mean, he's one that I would talk to on a everyday basis, or text and whatever. But it's so cool because they see that. I mean, he knows how much how big of friends Brian and I are, and which is cool. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they'll probably pick up on that and go with it.
I will say, just to add to that, work ethic, I think, is something else, especially kids nowadays with everything they have going on. They're getting invaluable lessons about commitments, right? And what it means to uphold a commitment. We talked about this before, their schedules. Like, the things that my kids commit to and just the nonstop go, 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 that takes a level that I don't know I would have had at their age. Like, I don't know that I would have signed up for all the stuff that they do, go to everything they do. I would maybe would have thrown the towel in on some stuff, but like, no, I don't think so. But they go and they do it, and they make that commitment, and they stick with it. So
do you think, since the topic is boys versus girls, do you think girls make more commitments or boys make more commitments on some of those activities, different activities?
My perspective, and I'm just going off my family, my kids, the girls for sure. But that's, Jarek's not huge into sports. Like, he ran through the ranks of, we had him try everything. He did some stuff like cross country and track and stuff he's done multiple years. But my girls they're the go, go, go. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to try everything. I'm going to commit to everything. So that's just my house, though. I really don't know, just on a broad perspective, if I feel boys or girls are more committed. I don't know that you could ever really determine that on who is, but at least under my roof, my girls are dance, volleyball, track, I mean, it's everything.
So how would you handle it if one of your younger girls didn't want to be the go, go, go? Like, let's just say if one of them didn't want to play basketball.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe a specific
we've
sport
had
or
this
something
discussion.
like that.
Is she going out?
Jazz,
Is Jazz here? Or is she going out?
this is 2 weeks in a row now. You have a real funny story, though. Before I came, because Jazzy was going to come with and hang out, and I said, yeah, it's a big night. We're having our first guest. And she's already mad at me because the episode that just came out, I talked about her and basketball and all that, right? So she goes, you better not talk about me all night. And I said, well, I bet you can't guess who the first guest is. She starts naming people off, and I said, no, it's a coach/teacher at Amherst High School. Joking with her. She goes, it's Carson. I said, yep. And she instantly got red and mad. And I said, no, it's not him. It's Joey. But yeah, we're not going down that road. That's still, Dad is still upset about it. So
You know, the cool part that we all know about Coach Carson is that he's probably going to recruit her a little bit.
I hope he does. Like, I hope, and I hope it's just, I just wanted to go out, just go freshman year, just go out, because I know she's going to love it. She loved playing basketball in junior high. I know she's going to love it. I honestly don't know. She has yet to give me a valid, like, reason as to why she made this decision.
And if I bounce back to commitment, because something was on my mind about boys and girls, I think it's more of a team and a program thing, because I look at, and we've been so blessed being a part of some successful programs with, here at Amherst with volleyball and the dance and the dance team.
Mm-hmm.
The commitment those girls had was nuts.
Oh, yeah.
That showed, whether it was on the volleyball court or on the court and dance. And then I look at my son that was a part of a semifinal C1 or C2 team for Kearney Catholic. You look at their program, it's unreal. I mean, he wakes up every day at 5:45 to lift and do conditioning all summer long, from Memorial Day to the first day of school, which is crazy. I mean, and it's all commitment. I mean, it's the upperclassmen getting the new freshmen involved, and it's just a program thing. But I'm with Brandon. I don't know if I could have done it. I look back at my high school. I'm like, woof, 5:45 every morning. No way.
Well, and two, I think, just the sports has changed, right? Especially at a high school level. Like, we had commitments in high school sports, but I don't remember them being like, we've talked about the club stuff and all this. I don't, we had our practices, we'd have open gyms, we'd have our games. The only time I was ever at a school before 6 a.m. was my freshman year, and that's because I was bottom of the totem pole, and we had to practice in the mornings. That's the slot we had. So, but yeah, it's. I don't know that I could do. I look at what Jazzy and Jaden do, and they're just sheer schedule that they go through. And props to them, because it's chaotic. Honestly, it's.
Mm-hmm.
When do you think it changed then, or started to change? Because in high school, I had a crazy schedule, just like you're explaining your kids have.
Well, and I don't know if it's because I was a one-sport athlete in high school, so maybe I just didn't see, the grand picture of it. But, now I've got kids that are multi-sport athletes, and with everything they do, and so
multi-activity.
Yeah. So maybe that's why it just seems like it's so much more, is because I was basketball, and now I've got kids that are, 3-4 sports or activities, and it's just year round, So I don't know. Maybe it always has been as chaotic or hectic as it is, but it's just my experience was with one sport just didn't open me up to seeing all that. So I don't know.
Well, do you think, because you went to a big high school, at least from what I'm aware, it's a lot bigger than the high school I went to, a lot bigger than Amherst. But do you think going to a bigger high school plays a big factor in sticking to just one sport or a limited amount of activities, rather than maybe a smaller school opens you up to a lot more?
Yeah, I think the bigger the school, the more single sport or only dual sport athletes you'll see. And that some of that's just sheer competition, right? Like, some of that's, we talked about it. I don't know if a lot of small schools probably don't even have a cut process in a lot of sports, right? But you go to Kearney Catholic or Kearney High, or like a high school I went to, and you got 100 kids going out for basketball team. Not all 100 are going to make it. So I think some of it is bigger schools just have that sheer volume to where you see more single or dual sport athletes, not because that was maybe their choice, but they just maybe didn't make the cut on that third sport or that fourth sport or whatever it may be. So Amherst, we've talked about this too, Amherst needs kids playing multiple sports. I mean, you got to have it. The numbers aren't there. And if we don't have kids that are multi-sport athletes, then we don't have success like we've had at Amherst over the last years,
Well, when I grew up, we didn't have that many opportunities. I mean, it just wasn't there. With the FBLAs, the FFAs, and all those, we just it wasn't. I mean, it might have been there, but it wasn't available at our school. And I think nowadays, even the smaller schools have those opportunities. You know, those outside activities more than.
Yeah.
So I think maybe they have been there for quite some time. It's just now, it's just starting to go to all the schools, not just bigger schools that
Yeah, I agree.
always had that opportunity.
FBLA, FFA, all these different
Yeah.
things. It's just I don't remember in high school, but maybe I didn't do it. Maybe they were there. I just didn't know about it. But now,
Well, yeah, for me, it was, you know, you did your sports in high school, and then the other outside thing was 4-H, and that was about it. I mean, I didn't do 4-H, but a lot of my friends did. But I mean, there wasn't so many of those activities available,
Yeah.
or that I was aware of. So, yeah, but all right. So, what's one lesson sports teaches boys and girls equally well?
I'm gonna reuse just commitment. I think that's one. There's other things, but I think that is. I'm still just amazed by that.
I think it teaches them how to work well with others, play well with others, how to respond to adversity in different situations, either as an individual sport or a team sport. I don't think that's boy or girl specific. I think those are great teaching lessons to grow into. We've talked about that before. I think sports is just a program to life.
Yep. Use the other word, network, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a network that opens up so many opportunities. Whether again, it's you know, the ability to compete. However, after high school, after college, it just opens up a whole network of people that maybe have seen you play, maybe have seen your kids play. It's awesome. And again, it goes back to the relationship part of it, to where you can be competitors on the field and on the court, but after everything's said and done, it's kind of neat to get to know people, outside of competing, whether it's in high school or college, and just opens up a huge network of people.
Yep.
I agree with that big time. I think just from some of my friends that went on and played college sports, from an outsider point of view, I could be way wrong here, but it just seems like what they wanted to do in life just kind of happened to fall in their lap easier than people who didn't play sports. And I think it came down to networking and just relationships. Playing sports in college just opened up many more doors to relationships and network, to put them in opportunities to land that job that they wanted easier than someone who, didn't have as many doors or networks open to them.
And dare we say work ethic, does sports, college sports and all that, you get an understanding of what the work ethic is and what abilities that you have, and you can conquer a lot of things.
Yeah. Yep.
And so when it comes to the real world, getting a job or whatever, I can do that because they've been through the rigors of athletics and sports and other activities.
So does the ancient saying of "it's not what you know, it's who you know" come into play here?
It could.
Potentially,
It could.
definitely could.
Perfect. All right. That's a wrap, I think.
Well, closing on. We got to do this closing thought.
Oh, closing
This
thought?
could be a hot take moment here.
Oh boy. At the end of the day, are we raising athletes or are we raising future adults?
No, we already touched on it. We're raising adults.
Okay,
That's
I
the
think.
goal.
making sure.
Yep.
Just hey, I'm just checking. Just checking.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
So how about this instead, Joey? What is your main purpose for sports?
My main purpose
Yeah,
for
for
sports?
yourself and for your kids. Like, what do you think is the greatest purpose that sports can offer?
Again, he touched on adversity. Being able to deal with adversity, whether it's in a fast-paced environment. Sport like basketball, volleyball, football, or maybe a little bit slower paced, like a golf or a track and field event. I watch followed a friend's daughter who's an amazing pole vaulter, and just watching them be able to analyze everything that they do within their vault. But yeah, I mean, dealing with adversity and are we raising future athletes, or are we raising athletes or future adults? I mean, it's 100% future adults, but being able to compete, and whether it's individually or with a team, it helps you. I think helps pave that way a little easier, just because, again, relationships and being able to deal with adversity. So,
Would you
Oh,
go ahead?
I got one last question. You've got a super young one who doesn't even know what sports is yet, right? You've already done this whole kit and caboodle once. What's one thing, or what do you think the biggest thing is that you will for sure do different on, almost like you're getting it's kind of like you're getting a redo. Not that the first time didn't go well, but now you've got a chance to, you've had all these practice rounds, right? Now you get one fresh, ready to roll. It's one thing that you would do different.
I mean, that's a great question, because I've thought about, okay, when she's at that point to, let's say, join a travel team, okay, and now we're talking 7, 8 years old.
Yeah, a lot younger.
My oldest daughter, her first travel sport was softball. I mean, was the first travel sport. Same in my boys, it was baseball, and neither of them, competed in high school in baseball or softball. I mean, it was just something to compete in and work on. But I would almost think that being able to surround her with people that are going to develop her, if she chooses athletics, but develop her skills instead of develop wins and losses. If that makes sense. Because I've seen both ways. 7 or 8 years old is more, okay, we're gonna go for wins and losses. Let's say it's baseball or softball. We're gonna have this person play this position basically the whole time, or this person they play this position at the same time, just because that's what they were good at, instead of maybe developing each kid. But she doesn't know this yet, but she will be playing volleyball. I mean, already a given. Again, Amber's not going to let her not play volleyball, and me as well. I always say the two best travel sports we've ever been a part of is club volleyball and hockey. And it was just because, for me, I didn't know enough about either sport,
Right.
where I wasn't necessarily competitive. I was just there just to watch and awe.
You were dad.
I was just 100% a dad. I was like, wow, this is so cool. Except when my son broke a hockey stick when he was, I think, 12, and I realized how expensive hockey sticks are. In the first game,
That's going to be another topic, is cost of kids.
Oh my
sports.
gosh, the first game at Lake Okoboji, he snapped his stick. It's $450, and it was like,
Holy smokes.
whoa, are you kidding me? And then your kid gets used to that stick. You got to get him another one. Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway.
By then they've got a new model, new version. It's 650, not 450.
Yeah,
It's like golf clubs.
But that's
good.
that's something I'll be thinking of. She's one right now, but it can definitely evolve a little bit. But I will go back to being able to know what not to say after a competition, whether it's volleyball or dance or whatever, what not to.
You'll have all the right words at all the right times, because
I
you've
hope so.
been there and done that.
I'll have grandkids too at that time. So.
Well, Joey, appreciate you coming on
that's
board
awesome.
and being part of it. And
I'm honored to be the first guest. So
yeah,
this is fantastic.
so when the shirts come in, we'll get you a shirt
That's
for being
sweet.
on. So
The logo's amazing.
yeah, thanks a bunch.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Mini segment time. Rapid fire. What do we got?
Boys versus girls.
Boys versus girls. Question 1.
Which post-game car ride is most emotional?
Which post-game car ride is more emotional?
Well, I'm going with girls, because just out of the fact that they're usually more emotional.
I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I'll definitely say boys, just because. I I have one car ride in particular that.
He's got.
You have an example. Okay.
Yeah, I have an
Yeah,
example. I'm like, oh, boy.
All right.
All right, I'm girl. I'm going girls.
All I know is boys.
Yeah, you're boys.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Question 2.
Which locker room smells worse?
Which locker room smells worse?
Think about it.
We'll ask Riley because he follows his nose.
Yeah, you follow your nose. Which one smells worse?
I don't even think it.
I would say boys. I don't coach, and my boys aren't really at that age yet, but so I'd have to go back to like my high school days, and I'm pretty sure the boys' locker room smelled worse than the girls.
I'm boys all day.
Yeah, I
long.
don't think there's any doubt
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. I mean, we roll down windows when
Yeah, the
Boys
the
get
things
the
that go
car.
on in some boys' locker rooms. There's
Girls, just being a coach and being in there at half times or whatever is, yeah, I mean, it smells perfumey and fluffy and,
I never had a stinking couch and recliner in my locker room.
yeah.
All right, which costs more, boys' sports equipment or girls' team apparel and accessories?
This is a question for you and you because you got,
I'm going to tell you right now, girls are horrible, and they are expensive. Love them all, love my daughters, but the things that I get text, hey, I need this for dance. Hey, I need this for volleyball. It's ridiculous. It's never ending.
and it never gets better. Yeah.
Is it the
I mean,
equipment or accessories that they're texting you about?
I just had to order Lululemon leggings for dance the other day. Like,
it almost should be what sports are the most expensive. I mean,
hockey, I think, would be one of
yeah.
them.
I mean, hockey is hockey and golf are
Yeah.
unbelievable expensive, but dance is right up there.
Dance is it's like 1A hockey,
Yeah.
and golf, and then 1B dance.
Yep, for sure. Like basketball is easy. Just
Yeah.
buy them a couple pairs of shoes.
Shoes, that's all you need.
You know, you're good. You're good to go. But yeah, dance, hockey, and golf. Oof.
that's a good point. It's probably more sport specific than boy the girls, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, what's next, Sarah? What is something that boy parents worry about and girl parents don't have to, and vice versa?
Well, for me right now, I guess my biggest worry is my kids running around talking about their penises all the time. And one of
Or
their,
just whipping it out and peeing anywhere?
yes, one of their big things right now is going around and saying, "Well, I have a penis, and Daddy has a penis, Papa has a penis. Yep, Mommy does not have a penis. Nope." And so just like there's a time and
Oh
a
my
place
God.
for that.
Don't bleep any of this.
Yeah, it is.
Don't bleep
great.
any of
This
this.
is great.
Yeah, it's my 3-year-old.
Riley could do a mini segment just on this.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even remember what the question was.
I
I don't either.
What do boy parents worry about?
Oh, boy parents worry about that girls don't have to worry about.
Oh my gosh.
What did you worry
Dropping trow and peeing in the middle of the soccer game. Like, I gotta go farmer potty.
No, hey, I don't. Yeah, Jarek was the same way at that age. That you do have to worry about, and you don't have to worry about it with girls. So
I think on a more serious note, for girls, you don't have to worry about. They're pretty well organized. They're not typically going to forget their equipment or supplies.
Ooh, that's really good.
But I think boys have a tendency to forget some of those things.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm guilty of that. I forgot so much stuff and got yelled at by my dad for
Yeah.
forgetting stuff all
girls
the time.
double and triple check that they got everything.
Yeah.
Boys do not.
I mean, just last week, football camp, I left my mouth guard in the garage and we're already halfway to Lincoln and to go get a mouth guard out of my garage. You know, grandparent had to go get it and get it to. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's a good one.
All right,
Last one.
Sarah. Which group, boys or girls, are going to ask or is more likely to ask to get food on the way home?
Boys.
I'm gonna say a 3-year-old boy.
I think it's 50-50 because I don't know that we've ever in the last 2 years after a girls volleyball game or like GI League, we stop almost every time. Most away games coming home, unless they're super close, we're stopping. So I don't know. That's a tie to me. I don't know.
I would say boys, but
I got
That's more-
hungry boys.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. They're eating me out of house and home. It's crazy.
All right, another mini segment. Which of we all have kids, would this best fit under? Okay, these different scenarios. Scenario 1,
Your kiddo scores
your kid scores
and looks for mom instead of celebrating with their teammates.
and looks for mom in the stands instead of celebrating with their teammate or dad. So your kid scores in a game, whatever sport you want, and instead of celebrating with the team, they turn and look to the stands for mom or dad.
5-year-old Baylor.
Journey 100%.
I would go with Noah.
I would go with Cy.
Okay, next. Your son or daughter hits a double, but stops at first base because that's where dad is first base coaching at.
I'm going with Sarah.
Sarah, that's Sarah all the way. I'm going with Journey again. Journey's going to get a lot of these.
I'm going to go Baylor.
Oh boy, if I had to choose, Carter, oldest. Yeah, that's a good one, Carter. He'd have definitely stopped at first because he
See
would
that hit, Dad?
Where do I go again? Yeah.
Oh, all right. Your son or daughter celebrates a point that actually didn't count, so premature celebration. Who is it? Jazzy all the way. That's Jazzy.
I'm going to have to go with Sarah. Really? I think so.
Sarah's getting called out tonight.
That's a tough one, though.
Yeah.
I was thinking Josiah.
That could
Well,
be a
that could
total
be too.
Josiah
That could have been
moment.
a Josiah.
He was full of celebratory.
Yeah, he'd like to do his Conor McGregor walk once in a while.
I think it's Bowden for you.
It's got to be
Bowden would hook that basketball up before it even went in. He'd be turning around, you know.
Just be going straight into confidence, you know.
It is all confidence.
He's throwing that ball up 100% confident that it's going in, that he's celebrating as soon as it leaves his hand.
Well, I'd go Lawson because there's a couple times the Y back in the day when like he was 6, he'd shoot it, it'd rattle in, and he'd be running doing the Steph Curry, the turnaround shoot and just turn around. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I just made it. Yeah,
But it's really cool if it does go in
it
and
is.
he does
It
it.
is so cool.
Which of your kids would wave at grandma and grandpa in the middle of a play or middle of a game?
I'm going to go Bowden on this one because I think he just wants to make sure people are watching.
It's Journey.
I think it's a tie between Sarah and Josiah.
All my kids, they've done it all.
Every last one of them.
All of them would. If my parents or Amber's parents come, they would always wave or give them at least a smile.
Yeah.
Which kid is a klutz? Fall down with nobody around him.
That's a
Jazzy.
Baylor.
Poor Carter, my oldest.
Carter.
Yeah,
I don't know. It would be Sarah or Noah. That's a toss-up.
Sarah racking up the points.
Yeah, you're just scoring big over there. Which kid would spend the entire soccer game picking dandelions? I know your answer.
I would say it would more than likely be Baylor. But last time he played soccer, he didn't pick one dandelion. He was really interested in being a shark and chasing other kids as a shark. So
I think that qualifies as
not playing the game, but playing
I-
his own game.
I don't know. I'm just gonna go Journey again.
I got to go Sarah.
I didn't have a kid that did that, but it would have been Carter if I didn't get after him. Like, dude, let's go.
Leave the damn dandelions alone.
We're scoring goals.
Yeah.
Which of your kids would hug the opponent after losing the game?
Who's got the big heart?
That's Mackenzie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Mackenzie. That's Jaden probably. But that's just because they know all the girls
Yep,
they play, and
exactly.
win, lose, or tie, they're hugging them, So,
The relationship thing.
yeah.
I think I'm actually going to go with Bowden on this one. Baylor doesn't like losing. He doesn't like being wrong. So I don't think he would hug whoever bested him. But Bowden is quick to forgive, quick to forget. So I think I would be Bowden.
I'm going to go with Noah. on that one because he's just so loyal and cares for people, and he's a protector that. Well, when he was 13, he played 18U volleyball with the girls in AAU because at that point they could, and he was 6 foot tall. But when they would hit a ball and get a kill, he'd reach under the net and shake their hand. So I'll go with Noah.
That's good.
All right, last one. Oh, that's
Which
easy.
of your
That's
kids
easy on
changes
my
the rules
end.
of the game so they could win? Jaslyn, hands down.
I got Josiah hands down.
Baylor for me.
And I got Lawson. He still does it, and he's 15. I mean, it's
But
crazy.
I ain't losing to dad.
Yeah, there's no way.
To vouch for my answer, he learned it from me.
Yeah, me as well.
I don't have a problem changing the rules in the middle of the game, especially card games.
Yep, that's where I'm guilty. My parents still give me a hard time today about how I was the biggest cheater when it came to card games.
I only cheat at Monopoly.
Woo! Hey, hey, put a smile on your face. Sunday chillin', song that you can bump to. One day chillin', doing whatever you want to. Sunday chillin', song to sing along to. And we gon' do whatever we gon' do. I know you want to, you can sing along too. Yeah. I see you can sing along.